I want to talk to you about the economy, what we have right now, what I see. I'm 72 years old, so I've lived through most of the cycles. I haven't seen the one we're coming into, the Kondratyov winter. We're probably in it maybe 10 years. It's going to probably get worse. After the election last year, Biden said that they considered closing the banks. I thought that sort of strange. And I've been thinking about it for 4 years, 3 years now. I'm trying to get the reason they closed the banks, and I think I know what's up. The banks have lost a terrific amount of money, especially with the housing as it's going down. Yeah, they're sitting on all those houses right now. That's not money. That's just houses. And they're not getting more expensive. They're getting cheaper. So they definitely lost all the money that's the drop from the top to wherever it is now. Now you have Kondratyov and you have Kenyon, and both of them have different ideas. Kenyon tells the government to print money, and Obama's done that. He's printed a lot of money. He's put us so far in debt. And if you look at that debt, it takes about 15 years and you owe it twice as much, because they're charging us interest at about 6%. And 6% times 10 is 60%. But it's actually past that because you're charging compound interest on the 6%. So it doesn't take much more than 15 years that you got over 100% of the money you borrowed. So that's the way it's going. We're going downhill, and we're going downhill at supersonic speeds. So let's get back to what Biden said. He says, close the banks. What they did when they closed the banks during the Depression is they closed the banks. They figured how much money the bank really owned, and they divided the amount that they owed the depositors. Then they marked the depositors' accounts down by the percentage they needed to bring everything in balance. So if you had $100,000 in the bank, or let's say you had $10,000, it's more practical in that day and age because nobody had been printing money out of thin air. You had $10,000 in the bank, and the bank checked everything out, and they had 1/4. Let's say they had 40% of the amount they really needed. They marked your account down to 40%. So you had $10,000 to start. Now you got $4,000 in the bank, you lucky person. Now if you're taking your money out the day before the Depression, the day before the banks closed, that wasn't the day before the Depression. The Depression was on for 4 years, I think it was. It started under I can't remember the president offhand, but it continued under Roosevelt. Roosevelt shut the banks down. Now, my grandfather was lucky. He had asthma. He'd gone to a doctor, and the doctor told him that if he continued to live in the city, he'd die young. He said, I'm going to get my money out the bank. And my grandmother told him, no, wait till tomorrow. I said, no, I'm going today. And he got his money. Next day, Roosevelt shut those banks down, and they stayed shut down for quite a while. I think it was over a year they were shut down. During that time, they had things like plantations that are now worth millions of dollars. Went for as low as $10,000. My grandfather could have bought a plantation, but that would have put him right up to the limit, so he didn't want to do that. I might be a rich grandson today if he had. But he didn't. So I'm sort of a poor man. I had to work my own way through life. But anyway, remember at this time they're about ready to close the banks. And when they reopen them, if you have an account with $100,000 in it today, you might have an account with $40,000 left. Maybe less, maybe more. The banks in the Midwest, in the Dust Bowl, are already having trouble right now. Last year was a super good year. Today, this year is nothing. The river's down where I live. It's down 15 feet down from where it's supposed to be. Of other areas, it's hard to even transport barges through. So we have another drought type era, whether it's 1 year or 10 years, I don't know. Good luck. Take care of your money. I hope you prosper whatever you do. Whether you do what I think you should or whether you do what you want to and it works out instead. Do the best you can for yourself. Thank you for your time. And I hope you make out all right.